and welcome back to Identity Insights by Indicio. I'm your host, Tim Spring, and today I'm joined by Lynn Bendixsen, and he's here to discuss some network upgrades for the Indicio network. Thank you for joining us today, Lynn. Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me on your show today, Tim. I'm happy to be here and talk a little bit about our Hyperledger Indy network upgrades that are in process right now for all of our Indicio networks that we run, our identity networks. And I am the network operations specialist for Indicio, and I'm happy to be here today and talk to you a little bit about what's going on and why we're having this this special session to tell you all the exciting news. Essentially, we just passed phase 1 of our network upgrade process. So we sent out notifications to all of our testnet node operators, and all of them have completed the process, and our testnet is now 100% upgraded to the new version. So what is that new version? The new version, we've been calling it the 20.04 upgrade, because essentially the 16.04 Ubuntu version that we were on before was deprecated. And we spent actually a couple of years now trying to get as a community, trying to get the 20.04 version working, and all the code ported over to the new Ubuntu operating system. And that process has finally been completed, and we're starting to upgrade public networks. And if I'm not mistaken, the Indicio testnet is the first public network that has completely upgraded to 20.04. So we're super excited that it worked and everything's going great. And we've actually already started on the next phase, which is to upgrade our demo net. And then in about 3 weeks, we'll start again on the next phase after that, which is to do our main net. And so by the end of October, we should have all of those upgrades completed and all of our networks on board and completely upgraded. So super exciting news today. Happy to announce that testnet is done, and we're well on our way to getting the demo net going.
Yeah, absolutely. It does sound pretty exciting. So why did Indicio feel the need to update? Obviously, the older version was going end of life. Is that what you said?
Yep. It was deprecated.
It was deprecated. All right. So are there new features or anything to look forward to with the newer version?
Yeah, along with the upgrade from 16.04 to 20.04, there were a few key critical fixes that went in, and one major feature, I guess we'll call it, that was added in, and that is the ability to do, well, I like to call it the network of networks, but essentially what it was enabled was the code that allows for the did Indy method to be used. So I don't know of any agents yet that have been changed to actually take advantage of that, but the network, Indicio's testnet anyway, is now able to handle that. And so we've opened up the possibility for a network of networks.
All right. And I know we've discussed Did Indy on the show in the past, but for those that might not have seen that episode, would you be able to give us a brief overview of what that network of networks actually is in terms of, functionality for the end user?
Oh, sure. So essentially, right now, there's just one method that is on all Indy networks, as far as I know. And that method makes it so that you have to log into a certain network to be able to use your credentials, and only on that network, and your agents have to know which one to go to, and that it's not as smooth as it could be to be able to use multiple networks if you have your credentials on different networks. And so this new method makes it so that each network can have its own method. So the Indicio network will have a did Indy Indicio method. And I believe we have 3 networks, and so it'll be did Indy Indicio testnet for our testnet, and demo net and mainnet, etc. And so an agent can decide which networks it trusts, and then look at the credential itself and see which network it's from, and then go straight to that network. It doesn't have to go and try each network individually to see which one a credential is based on. It can look at the credential and it'll have the method right there in it, and it can go straight to that network to verify that credential if it trusts that network.
Okay. So if I could summarize and let me know if this is inaccurate, you could basically take your credential to multiple networks as opposed to using just the Indicio network. You could take it to other publicly available networks with just the same credential. Is that right?
Good question. That is not exactly accurate. Credential exists only on one network. What the did Indy method allows is for an agent to determine which method the credential came from and then go verify against that network. So the agent needs to be set up so that it can recognize which network, based on this new did Indy method that has been developed, it'll be able to tell which network to go to do the verification.
Okay, so is it more on like the verifiers end then, basically, where they will not be able to use a lot more different credentials?
Correct.
Okay, very cool. So I know you said it's already done for the testnet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is our free to use network where people can go play with it now. Would that be correct?
That is correct. People can go start playing with it now. And then when it's up on the demo net, you can start playing with that on the demo net as well.
All right. Well, that is all super exciting. Well, it looks like that is about our time for today. If you are interested in learning more about verifiable credential technology, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue to bring you some more educational content or big news. If you have any questions or specific topics, please give us a comment below, and we'll be sure to read and address them. And thank you again to you, Lynn. If someone was interested in learning more about the upgrade or Ubuntu, is there anywhere you would suggest they would look?
Yeah, for more information about the did Indy method, we have a blog post that goes into more details there, at least at a high level. And if you want more details beyond that, about the did Indy method or about any of the upgrade processes or any information at all about that, then feel free to send me an email directly, lynn@indicio.tech.